Hello and welcome to The Wizard, Episode 4, The Foundlings. Last time we wrapped up what we're calling the prologue of this campaign. In the prologue, Aribhin Foundling traveled to Lolithir, the Undercity, on the trail of a group of mysterious, sinister drow who had committed mayhem and murder aboard the Sunwalker Enterprise's first publicly attended launch of an airship. The Sunwalker Enterprise, run by enigmatic arcanist Philineth Sunwalker, who was a drow himself, had hired Aribhin to investigate. In the Undercity, Aribhin learned that the same group of murderous drow had committed another killing, specifically that of the missing hobgoblin scholar Limo Torque, though despite his findings, the trail ran cold. Frustrated at the lack of solid leads and the lack of transparency from the Sunwalker Enterprise, Aribhin departed the Undercity. At the Crosslink station in Starspire, he received a message from one of his adoptive mothers, Shinowis, informing him that his adoptive godborn siblings, who Aribhin hasn't seen in years, were returning home for a visit. Excited to catch up with his brothers and sisters, Aribhin hopped aboard the first train he could, speeding north towards his home city, the sprawling metropolis of Crossroad. And that's where we pick up. Quick notes, he is now level 6, and I was being a little stingy with my passing out of mythic points because we are using the mythic variant rules. Now, however, Autumn is going to have free reign to use 3 mythic points a session. So yeah, that's about it. You travel on the Crosslink, wrapping to almost dead north. What do you do while you're traveling on the Crosslink, if anything? Do you send messages ahead? Is there anything that you want to do?
Yeah, well, I'll probably get like a bag of coffee before I get on the Crosslink.
I see, yes.
Yes. And in her letter, Shenowis said that Amira and Kabosh are on their way, right?
Correct.
And then she is sending messages to Theo and Gilia as well.
Right.
Okay, all right.
So you know for sure that Amira and Kabosh are going to be there.
Hell yeah. Okay. I think I'll send a dream message to Theo. To make sure he gets the memo.
All right.
Quickly.
Just communicating that you are heading back.
Yeah. Well, who knows where he is? Who knows where he, when he's gonna come to the Crosslink next. So I just want to make sure he's getting the message. And then with Gilia, I'm assuming that she's probably just in Crossroad or something. Maybe I'll send her a message too.
So you send both of the other siblings dream messages?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just roughly saying hey, I'm on my way to Crossroad. Okay, hope you guys are too.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
All right, cool.
And then, let them know that the other siblings are coming too.
As you travel on the Crosslink, happily, you discover that this Crosslink does indeed have an invention that is being tested.
Nice.
This is an insulated wooden cup that has no handle. It's kind of an all-purpose kind of cup that keeps whatever liquid is poured into it at the exact same temperature as when it went into the cup.
Cool.
Which is cool for cold drinks, but for hot drinks, it's kind of tough because when you put in hot tea, it keeps it as hot as it is when it goes in. So it's kind of hard to get perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it also it works well for red wine because it keeps it at roughly room temperature when it's poured in. It doesn't heat up with your hands.
I see. I feel like that this is a bit overkill. We have thermal ceramics that work pretty well.
So your feedback is this is not necessary.
Yeah. This
Cool.
is not necessary.
Well, the Crosslink travel passes by pretty uneventfully. It's the opposite view as when you came. So it goes from desert back to more lush jungle around Core area, and then back to fields and everything, and general greenery. But as you travel, you might have a little trouble focusing on reading or learning this time due to a couple factors. One being the excitement.
Yeah.
The excitement factor of seeing them for the first time in years. It's not just for the first time in a couple months. You haven't seen these siblings in a long time. Mm-hmm. So it's excitement mixed with also some irritation with the Enterprise and your lack of solid information that you found. Essentially traveling for weeks or more on this trail and coming up with relatively little in your mind, at least. In your mind, at least.
And it's like I'm happy to be getting like free travel out of it. But yeah.
So you're excited to return to see your siblings. You're also a little irritated to return and talk with your contact at the Enterprise and just kind of like, what now? Is kind of a question that's going on through your brain. But unless there's anything specifically else you'd like to do on the crosslink here, we can just kind of move on through the traveling.
Yeah, no, I'll probably just be like chatting people up excitedly. Probably telling them all about my siblings and such.
Okay, cool. Several days pass. With your Sunwalker Enterprise badge, you do get a room and everything, so it's pretty luxurious, easy, comfortable traveling until about late afternoon, almost evening, as the train arrives to Crossroad. Up ahead to the north, you begin to see the bustling, sprawling metropolis of Crossroad. The ever-expanding skyline of the city is backed by the Hook Mountains, and from this distance, you can also see the lake to the east. Its surface is scattered with fishing vessels and leisure yachts, though the most eye-catching sight on the lake is the partially submerged, kind of floating tower of Philineth Sunwalker. Strangely, though, your eyes land on something above the lake, something that stirs violent memories. An airship, full-sailed and sending a massive shadow down onto the blue surface below. Eventually, it pulls in with a brief message from your captain, as usual. This is your captain speaking. We're pulling in across for that kind of message. And eventually, you come to a stop and you exit from the crosslink. The summer evening air feels pleasant on your skin, and the smells of nearby food booths kind of scattered around the crosslink station and often the city streets kind of make your mouth water a little bit. The food on the train is good, but there's something about returning to your home city and just smelling that kind of familiar scent as you step off the train. You exit the railway and find yourself on familiar cobblestone streets, occupied by merchant wagons, traveling business folk, wandering families, food stands, all kinds of shops. And Crossroad is a city made up of all kinds of people from around not only the continent of Barbaria, but increasingly citizens of Athara at large. The fashion is varied and colorful, as are the religions worshipped and languages spoken. You see elves, gnomes, humans, dromar, dwarves, goblins. Most ancestries you can think of you'd likely be able to find in Crossroad should you look hard enough. So, do you set out for the shelter?
Yeah.
All right. Again, almost evening here. Like the air is cooling off for the day, but it's still hot. So as you make your way through the streets of Crossroads, setting out for the Lake District, where the shelter for divine children sits, doesn't take too long to get there. And as you reach it, the sight of the old retrofitted temple brings a smile to your face. A large stained glass window looms over the double-doored entrance of the stone building, besides which lies a decent-sized yard, a luxury in this city. And in part of the yard, next to the small pond, lies an old wooden barn, which you mostly associate with childhood memories of your sister Gilia's mini pets. In fact, though it took a second glance to notice, someone is sitting out in the yard right at this moment. You hear the plucking of a lute and an accompanying voice, and see Theo's hairy toes dangling down into the edge of the pond.
I'm going to throw a rock at him.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me.
21.
21. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. You kind of hurl a rock, make a quick attack roll.
Okay.
A ranged attack roll. Do like dex and proficiency.
Okay, cool. Then 21 also.
Okay. I think that should hit. I have to pull out of the character sheet. Cool. I'll say it hits. You hurl it over, and it just like hits him like right on the arm, and he kind of strums awkwardly and sends all the strings clang, and he kind of turns over. You see his curly strawberry blonde hair kind of like kind of tussles on his hair as he turns and looks over. It's a bit longer, his hair, than last time you saw him, kind of resting now around his shoulders, actually.
Oh, wow.
And as he looks over, his purple sparkly eyes go wide as he sees you, and he immediately just kind of like tosses haphazardly his lute to the side, landing in the grass, and scurries over and he goes, "Aribhin!" And he just scurries over and comes up to hug you.
Oh, what up?
He kind of comes up. Do you like kneel down to give him a hug, or do you just let him hug your legs and pat him?
I'll kneel down. Yeah, I kneel down.
Kneel down. He comes over. He's like 3 feet tall, typical halfling size. Gives you a big hug. He's like, nothing much. I got your message, by the way. Since when can you do that?
This is about a week or so ago.
Oh. Well, cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, good to see you.
Yeah, you too. I didn't expect to see you first. I was expecting Kabosh or Romero first. I was, stealing myself, but...
Well, I just got here, so...
Oh, really? When?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Like last night. I came from Cyril.
Cyril. Okay,
Cyril is, if you'll see on the west side of the map.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Cyril is, make a quick society check if you don't mind.
All right. Okay, yeah, really, really good. 31.
31, yeah. So Cyril is by far the largest port city in the whole continent. It trades with all kinds of other continents. It's kind of known for its varied population and lots of ships coming in with foreign people, essentially from Scala, from Deathag, from all kinds of nations throughout Deathag. But he's like, so what you been up to?
Well, is anyone else here yet?
Yeah. You want to go inside?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay,
he kind of runs inside. He goes, Arvid's here. As he kind of runs around, there's like a side door going in from the yard, and he pushes it open. No one heard him call out, but as you step inside, you see the familiar sanctuary of the temple that has, as the whole temple has been retrofitted to become sort of like a very wide, high-ceilinged, spacious sitting room, essentially like living room here in the temple, spread with sofas and comfy chairs before the raised platform where a podium does still sit, and that's where Shinois and Estelar and Coslin would often give you guys lessons from the top of that kind of raised platform. But you see, seated at one chair, chatting and having tea with Shinois right now is Amira. She's Ayuvar and a half elf. She's got black hair with kind of navy undertones, but now the opposite of Theo. Her hair is shorter, coming only partway down her neck. And you see that her halo illuminates the area around her, kind of like almost like just like a floating lamp above her head, illuminating both her and Shinois as they're having tea. She's got like kind of pale skin, not super pale, but slightly pale skin. And she's wearing a breezy linen shirt and slippers. But it's actually Shinois that first sees you as you come in. And she immediately screams and hops to her tiny feet and scurries over to you. A little bit shorter than Theo. She herself is wearing like a light pink robe. Comes over and gives you a hug, and Theo's kind of like skipping around happily. Then Amira kind of turns and you see her kind of gentle, calm smile kind of brighten up on her face. And as she pushes herself up to her feet, and as she does, she begins to float essentially and levitates down to her feet, which begin to automatically kind of pick into a gentle, angelic stride over to you to hug you and give you a kiss on the cheek. And seeing her again for the first time is with the floating and the halo, you immediately recall the almost irritating angelic perfection of your older sister.
Yeah.
If one was to imagine a godborn child, she is the spitting image.
Yeah.
So she again floats over to you a little bit, steps down, gives you a hug, and she goes, "It's so nice to see you again."
It's nice to see you too. Nice to see you too, Mom. Yeah, I kiss her head.
Yeah, it's like a whole it's kind of overwhelming, really.
Yeah, no, it's like kind of like a like how do I even respond right now? It's like very overwhelming. It's a good way to describe it.
For sure.
So I'm just kind of like
and
wide-eyed, like whoa.
And to further describe Shinois here, Shinois is a middle to older age gnome, kind of like graying hair. So we've got a halfling, a half elf, a halfling. Wait, a halfling, a half elf, a gnome, and an elf so far.
Yeah.
At this point, Castellan emerges from the kitchen, which lies through an open doorway to one side of the raised dais. And she comes out. She's got some like an apron on. She's got some like flour across the apron. She appears to have been baking, and you can smell actually kind of the smells of some baking bread coming from the kitchen. And she comes out and she goes, "Aribhin, good to see you again." And she comes over as well and gives you a hug.
Probably like a big fat squeeze.
Oh yeah, she's definitely like a squeezer.
Yeah, she's definitely a squeezer.
And Castellan, a slightly dark skin. She's a dwarf. She is Arvin's other mother. Yeah, it's just a whole big ruckus of chatting and hugging, and
they're both my mother's, like, as in they're like sisters essentially. They grew up together.
Yes, and there's also a father, which you do not currently see. Estelar is not here presently.
Okay. I feel like that's like a little bit of like a, all right, cool, let's chill. So
as everyone's kind of catching up, Theo turns in to Shinowis and he goes, where are Kabosh and Bone? And Shinowis is like, I think he's in his room. I think Bone probably followed him in there. Maybe he's asleep. I don't know.
Bone.
Theo's like, oh yeah, he has a dog now.
Hell yeah, this is fucking great. All right. Okay, great. This is awesome.
Amira's like, he doesn't seem to really want the dog that much. He mostly just follows him around. He can't seem to get rid of it, really. It's actually kind of amusing.
Huh. Interesting. What? I want to see the dog.
Theo's like, just go open the door. And Shinowis is like, he's sleeping. He might be sleeping.
I'll just crack it.
Okay.
The dog has to, the dog's got to get some fresh air or something.
I'm
already on my way over there.
Castella's like, here we go. Immediately she's talking about you going to irritate Kabosh. But you're already on the way. So you go over and you don't knock, you just try to open.
Yeah, I'll try to like do it quietly.
Make a thievery check.
Oh, 14.
14. It's an old temple.
Yeah.
It's an old temple.
I'm already
they've done what they can
irritating
to modernize it. You go in it.
Oops.
And you immediately hear a whoo, and scurrying over to the door, you see a hound, like a mix, like somewhere in between a German Shepherd and a Doberman. As this thing comes over, it's pretty big. It comes over and like immediately starts to like put its snout right through the opening that you have the door.
I let him out.
You let him out. He scurries out and immediately like starts sniffing you and jumping up on you. And you hear a groggy voice inside go, down. Kind of like raspy slightly from waking up. And you kind of open the door a little bit further and you see blinking, waking up, is your older brother, Kabosh. This one, a human. Dark skin, kind of slightly glowing, like with a faint golden glow to his skin, got long dreads. You see, he's even bigger, like muscular, muscle-wise than last time you saw him. As he stands up from the bed, Kabosh is like 6'6", 6'7".
Oh my god!
You see, he ties his dreads back behind his head, comes over and says, "Down," I said. And Bone at this point drops and turns and like just gives him that like I know I disappointed you dog look.
I'm also, I was on the ground like petting the dog too, and I also give him a disappointing you dog look.
See, he looks down at you and he goes, "Hello."
Hey.
And he kind of like reaches out a hand to kind of pull you back up and gives you a hug. And again, he's towering over you, but he gives you a hug. He's like, "Good to see you."
You too, buddy. And I squeeze him as hard as I can.
And you see him yawn. He goes, "Well, got 20 minutes." He goes out and starts walking back out and pours himself a cup of tea from the still hot kettle over near the chairs. All in all, a very strange assortment of ancestries here in this family of foundlings.
Yeah, has anyone heard from Gilia?
Shinowis is like, yes, she sent a message. She should be getting here tomorrow.
Wow. Okay, well, yeah. Okay, great.
And Shinowis is like, awesome. And Castellan has very kindly agreed to make a big family dinner tomorrow night. So once everyone's here, so we can all have dinner together.
Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to go out too.
And then Castellan's like, I think Estelar should be bringing something home here soon.
For tonight, you mean?
Yeah.
Cool.
And at that point, actually, the front door opens up. Again, the sun has mostly set at this point because it does take you a little bit, 20, 30 minutes maybe to get over here from the Crosslink station.
Okay, yeah.
As entering is your elven adoptive father. Estelar, blonde hair, very, very elven looking. I'll say that. He's not a pureblood elf. I sort of homebrew the rules here where more pureblood elves have the irises that fill more of the whites of their eyes. The purest of bloods.
The most fey, right?
The most fey, yes. The most fey of elves have irises that essentially are their entire eye. Their entire eye might be in one color. Estelar, maybe slightly purer than you, heads in, and you see he always dresses very nicely, very finely. He always smells good too. But as he enters, there's a different kind of familiar smell that hits your nose as he carries in bags from a nearby Chlorosi restaurant, almost like Southern comfort food in our real world that your foundling parents would frequently get when you were younger. So he comes in and tosses all of these bags onto the long dining table on one end of the sanctuary area, and he sees you and he goes, "Well, hello."
Hey.
He comes over, gives you a hug. It hasn't been too long since you've seen Costel. You saw Castellan, Estelar, and Shinuis several weeks ago, but the siblings, however, you've not seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So Castellan goes over and begins to unpack these bags of food. It's served family style and is relatively cheap, which is mostly why your parents would get it when you guys were young, because it is cheap and easy to feed all of you. Bone rushes over to Estelar. Estelar pets it. You see, there's a certain kind of like fondness in Estelar's eye when he looks over and sees Kabash kind of looking as Kabash is a chosen of Iomade, the inheritor, and Estelar himself is a priest. Works for the local big temple of Iomade. There's a certain sort of pride there in Estelar's eyes as he looks over at Kabash, who towers over the rest of the family. And as you turn and see everyone, Gilia isn't here yet, but as you look upon your strange, colorful family here, just a kind of warm, nostalgic feeling falls upon your heart here, and it just feels good to be home.
Yeah.
And so as everyone sits down and begins to eat, some still kind of milling about the room. Theo goes and like grabs a biscuit and is still kind of like wandering around the room, just kind of looking at all the stained glass. Theo would often just kind of peruse things that he's perused a million times before. Shinuis turns to you and she's making a plate for you right now. And she goes, "Now, Aribhin, I've told the others, don't start telling everyone what you've been up to, not until everyone's together. That way we don't all have to repeat it.
Okay.
A bunch of times.
I'm fine with repeating it. It's
No. Well, then we all get to look forward to it tomorrow night once we're all together.
Okay, all right.
And we can go around and have like show and tell where we all go around and say, well, I haven't been up to much, but you kids.
Yes, up to a lot.
Shh. So Theo kind of begins to pluck on his lute, kind of taking bites of various chicken and biscuits and veggies as the family begins to have dinner together. Estelar, with his kind of fine, graceful elven fingers, very delicately eats this, what is essentially Southern comfort food. He eats it very antithetically to how it's meant to be eaten, and only eats a little bit. But as everyone else is kind of digging, you see like Kabash and Amira actually surprising you, are just like digging in here. I will say, though she still kind of has that pale complexion to her, like it's kind of just part of her, Amira has tanned. She looks generally tanner than you remember. That said, there's still kind of I'll say she's kind of a fair complected kind of person. Yeah. Is complected a word? She has a fair complexion to her, but yet it's more tan.
Yeah.
Estelar goes, "So now that we've got more of you together, I've actually got an idea. So not sure if you all know this, but Sapphirose, the Day of the Seas, is coming up on Toil Day. Sapphirose being just an Atharan holiday. It's celebrated, as far as you know, across the world. Highly, highly celebrated in port cities and among islanders and sailors specifically. Yet Crossroad does not hesitate to celebrate some festivities here. So the city typically, as you remember, every year transforms into a fun kind of seafaring festive place on Sephoros, or Saphoros rather. Once Shinowis told me that that you kids were coming back, I quickly put a deposit on a rental boat so we could have a lake day on Saphoros. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah.
And he was like, yes. Amira's like, yes, that does sound nice. And Gwash was like, yeah. He goes, the lake will be packed, so I understand if you all would rather do a picnic at Unity Park or something else. But if you all are fine with this, then I'll go ahead and rent it for good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sounds great.
Great. So you all scarf down some food, but you do get the sense that Amira seems pretty tired, as does Kabash. Just kind of generally, they seem tired. Not specifically tonight, if that makes sense. There's kind of a tired feeling to both of them. Theo's a little bit more energetic. But after dinner wraps up,
we probably since we've been forbidden from talking big talk and just, making small talk, I don't, it's probably I don't know, it's difficult to not talk about things because
it definitely is it's a little difficult and a little hard to not just want to immediately ask what they've been up to, especially because Amira is dressed completely differently.
Yeah.
She's wearing very desert-like clothes. Kabash himself, again, bigger. He seems to have a few new scars across his skin, and a dog. And so you're not even sure if you can ask where he got the dog or not. You could try and see if Shidowis gets on you. But it's not too hard because Theo's great at making small talk.
Okay.
As soon as the Saphoros chat begins, it kind of spirals into reminiscing on old memories. Because you guys, as he said, throws out the idea of a picnic at Unity Park. You remember several times going to Unity Park on Saphoros and various holidays. Yeah. And spending time with your family, going on picnics and
and I'll show Theo, I've been practicing the recorder.
Okay.
So I'm we'll probably be off in the corner and I'll be tooting my a few little notes.
Make a performance check.
Okay. A matter of how annoying it is, you mean? Not that annoying. 24.
24. Theo is thoroughly impressed. He's like, you know what, Arvin? Might not be able to do too much better myself.
Well, it is the recorder. I mean.
Well, yeah, I'm in for the recorder.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, wow. Thank you.
He goes, I don't often play the recorder.
I mean, that makes sense.
He goes, crowds don't typically like the recorder. They typically like, singing, lute, I mean, sometimes I play with a band.
I've gotten told to put it away on the crosslink.
Oh, yeah. So, I would imagine.
Yeah. They get a little sick of me sometimes on the crosslink.
That's okay. Yeah, so the rest of the night is mostly spent kind of doing, you can't dig into anything too deep per Shinowis's orders.
Orders.
So, but you guys nevertheless enjoy each other's company. Castellan procures some old board games that you all would play together when you were younger, and it really makes you feel how long it's been because the board games she pulls out are dusty, and suddenly when these board games are pulled out, it's oh wow, we haven't played these since you've grown, literally, and you have become a larger elf since then, and Kabash has gotten bigger. It's been years.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind, how many years has it been since because you were the last one to leave?
Mm-hmm. We said it was I left when I was 17.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah, it's 4 to 6 years, depending on how long the curriculum of Dragonmount is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they have probably literally grown, some of them, since you've seen them. They look older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if they haven't grown height-wise a lot, more adult features have set in.
Yeah, because we're all mid-20s. Oh.
Yeah. So Castellan procures some board games. Shinowis begins to talk about how you were all once so little and young, and she gets misty-eyed just talking about how she remembers when every single one of you was smaller than her. Looking at Kabash and yourself, really. It's kind of hard to believe that once Kabosh was smaller than Shinowis. And the image of Shinowis like rocking baby Arvin, baby Kabosh is quite cute, I would say. Because I bet Kabosh was still like human babies are probably larger than gnome babies. You know what I mean? So she's probably a big baby for Shinowis.
Yeah.
Estelar goes ahead and brews everyone some more tea. This one like an herbal tea for nighttime. And actually, surprising you, the parents, your adoptive parents, stay up much later than they used to, simply to be with everyone and enjoy their company. But it's a pretty easygoing, relaxed night. Doesn't get too in depth yet with what's been going on with all of you. But they stay up pretty late. Once the parents go to bed, Theo kind of yawns. Maybe tomorrow we could all go to Gus's.
Yes.
And Amira kind of gives her like gentle, sly kind of smile a little bit, and she's like, maybe. And Kabosh is like, I don't think so.
Have either of you been to Gus's?
I'm sure you dragged me there once or twice.
If you allowed me to. I mean, we would have been teenagers, so.
Kabosh is like, no.
Maybe we could start at Greasy Gus's because it's a good starting bar. It's a good starting and ending bar.
Kabosh is like, you really like drinking at a place called Greasy Gus's?
Duh.
And you, as a side note, you have noticed that throughout the night, Bone is like attached at the hip to Kabosh, and Kabosh is constantly pushing it away. And you're not sure like how much Kabosh has this dog and owns this dog, and more so the dog just won't leave him. But Kabosh is constantly pushing away. But Theo and Amira and all the parents are petting the dog constantly.
Yeah, cute.
Nevertheless, you eventually probably just go to bed. Unless there's something you want to do to... Is weed common here? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Could I have some on me, or do I need to get some?
Did you take Prescient Planner?
I will sometime soon. No, I don't have it right now.
So we'll say that no, you don't have any weed on you right now.
I'm just gonna go over to Greasy Gus's.
By yourself?
You can
ask Theo.
I mean, I'm gonna go tonight if anyone wants to.
Theo's like, yeah, I'll go for a drink or two.
All right, cool.
He goes, I just mean we should all go tomorrow once Gilly is here and everything.
Right.
Once all the siblings are together.
Yes.
Kabosh is like already halfway to his bedroom and he just turns over. He's like, I'll see you in the morning.
All right.
So you and Theo, we'll say Amira does not tonight. We'll say she's too tired. You and Theo head over to Greasy Gus's. You walk in. The Gus behind the bar tonight is like a middle-aged kind of tan woman. She's got kind of close cropped like gray hair.
Okay.
Hey, what can I do for you?
Give me your best.
All right. And she goes ahead and pours you up some drinks. It's a light crowd. There's almost a sense that people are gearing up for Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Coming up because, as you know, it's a big drinking day. And that's actually one thing you're probably really looking forward to is that you were all too young. Your parents wouldn't let you drink on Sephiroth when you were younger. But now everyone's an adult and you're all back together for this Sephiroth. So you and Theo grab some drinks, kind of chat, kind of get a high top table over by the window, look out kind of to the street outside. The bar is not far from the shelter. And this is why particularly he mentioned it because it's really like maybe a minute walk.
Yeah.
You guys have like a light kind of hangout. It's like dodging around what's been happening to you guys. He's like, well, so I can't really tell you what I've been doing. I can at least tell you about some places I've been.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just came from Cyril. It's pretty crazy there. Really big. It's not quite Crossroad big, I guess, but it kind of feels like it just because there's so many people coming and going and you see all kinds of crazy people there. I mean, like, I feel like half the people that come from Scala have like dragon blood in them. A lot of them just kind of look weird. Will have horns and some scales or some weird kind of serpentine eyes. Some of them will have tails like lizard tails. And I mean, it's probably not half of the people that come to Cyril, but it's crazy. And apparently people like in Scala, there's like a dragon king or something.
Wow, that's really fascinating. Similarly, Lolothier, I just got back from Lolothier. It's a lot more like relaxed, more chill than I thought it would be.
Like the Undercity?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and then I kind of like just get into how it's pretty similar down there. Similar, like, lots of different mix of people. And yeah, I feel like maybe we talk about like what different locations are like a
For
lot.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he actually like blows you away because he starts in on Cyril, but he begins to talk about like he has been all over. He has been pretty much like he has been up to Karak. He has been up to like winter break. He has essentially traveled the continent and dipped down to Halasar as well. He has been to Erwinna, the first city.
Oh my God.
And you realize just like how well traveled you are as a bard. Like when this is your profession, when entertaining and traveling and touring is your profession, you see everywhere.
Yeah.
He's like, and if you think, oh, that's crazy, like Silverstring has been even more places than that.
Oh, wow.
Like he's been across the world.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. Wow.
He's like, what, are you jealous?
No.
So anyway, you all make chatter about the locations you've been to, like different kinds of people you met. He gets into a little bit just like how weird Erwinna is. He's like Estelar's from there, right? I mean, Estelar's he's old.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because he's an elf. I mean, he's pretty old. What is that? Like 300 something? He's like crazy old.
Yeah, thereabouts.
But if he's from there, that's crazy because Erwinna is weird. It's like a weird vibe there, like very judgy.
Oh,
and,
yeah, that checks out.
But very beautiful at the same time. Like the city looks gorgeous, and he just goes on and on about like the Fey architecture of the first city and how it's like impossible. Like some of the buildings feel impossible, and he's like, and the weather there is not like the weather here. Like when we went there, it was winter, but there it felt like late summer. But only around Erwinna. It's really weird. And I asked Silverstring, and he said that it's just like this here. I think he said that it's got such a strong connection to the first world that the weather from that plane leaks over.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like Arvin's at a bit of a loss for what to say or do.
For once.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. He, by the way, like he's a good listener, but he's also a chatter as well.
Yeah.
So like he just despite you kind of being at a loss, as soon as he can kind of see that you don't have much to say, he just keeps going and keeps talking about how like Karak was crazy as well, and the city Janasa up there was wild.
Oh my God.
And he talks about, he begins to tell you about haikus, which are native to Janasa and that kind of area up there, and talks about like there are people called Talons that are up there that are like incredible like scout warriors that like scout the mountains and like slay dragons, or at the very least treat with dragons. And just again begins to go on and on about all these crazy places. He talks about Cloud Watch and about how you can hear down in the city, you can hear the rumbling and shouting of giants up in the mountains from down in the city. And he just like Arvid's just probably like slack jawed at all this information.
Yeah.
And he's like, anyway, it's been crazy.
Yeah, you're like living a fantasy.
He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I am.
I take another drink.
Okay.
I'm definitely more drunk than him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he hasn't had much time to drink because he's just been chatting so much.
And I've had nothing but time to drink.
Yeah, so you're feeling a little tipsy, possibly letting a little bit of moroseness creep in.
Yeah. So it's like I've been like matching him in the regions that like places I've been, but I quickly run out of like ground to talk. So
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even as soon as you like, do you bring up having been in Starspire briefly?
Yeah.
He begins to talk about how he spent a while in Starspire and actually
like a couple days
sang in front of the king.
Oh my God.
Or rather, he opened for Silverstring in front of the king.
I got treated for an illness in the undercastle.
But he opened
after breaking and entering.
He opened for Silverstring in front of the king, and witnessed like a bunch of the different storm and like nature conjurings of King Halas.
I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that once too.
Yeah. But he's not saying this in like a rowing it in.
No, yeah. And I'm not like, it's like I'm happy for him and also horribly insecure.
Right.
So it's like I definitely like let him talk, and I try to, talk when I can, but
And generally you also need a little bit more to drink than him. So he's kind of, because he's so small, so he generally is fine with nursing one beer while you have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he seems more grown up in like his look. Again, his hair is longer. His wardrobe is more just put together, and it seems to be part of being a bard is the fashion a little bit. So he's dressed in pretty fine clothing. Whereas when he left, the Foundlings never had a ton of money to work with, and were mostly working off of donations.
Yeah.
Some of the donations actually came from donations to other temples. Like temples would give to the shelter for divine children, kind of like creating like a weird kind of chain of donations. But you guys never had like a ton of money to deal with. So when he set out, it was in not rags, but just, simple cloth, simple kind of clothing. But now he's dressed a bit more elegantly.
Yeah.
Do you eventually head back?
Yeah, I let him head back. I'm going to wander on my own a little bit. I'm going to get myself a bottle of wine. And then I'm going to go sit out by the little pond at our house and just kind of sit with myself for a little bit and just kind of like mentally prepare. And I'm like, I'm very happy to see my siblings, but I'm like, oh God, like they're going to be up to so much cool fucking shit. And it all starts tomorrow.
So basically what you're saying is Theo telling about what he's been up to has made Arvin like existential and like have to prepare to hear about all the awesome stuff that his siblings are about and feel bad about his own experience.
Yes, because like Theo didn't even get into like anything to do with God yet. So it's like shit. This is like a fraction of what I'm gonna have to
Right.
tough through tomorrow.
For sure.
So yeah, I sit with myself, have some more drinks, and then eventually I stumble in.
Eventually, in kind of like a foggy, kind of tipsy state, you go back into the shelter, lock up, go to your room, fall asleep.
Yeah.
And it has been prepared for you.
Oh.
The next morning, everyone wakes up and again feels very strangely like not deja vu-y by any means, but like it feels like old times. It feels like being a teenager or a kid again as all of the siblings and parents are kind of milling about throughout the living area, the kitchen, also out in the yard. Like everyone's always going like kind of filtering in and out.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of you guys too. Because right now there's only 4 siblings. There's usually 5 plus 3 parents. So there's 8 people in this household.
I probably got some rundown on how to make coffee while on the crosslink. So I'll try to make coffee for everyone.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Great. Yeah. So you brew up some coffee for everyone. We'll say it's like a little bit rudimentary, like maybe like a kind of like French press type coffee. It's a little bit like makeshift because you don't have like hardcore coffee equipment right now. We'll say it's kind of like a French pressy type thing.
Okay, cool.
And eventually kind of share it out to everyone. And like Shannon's like, this is so sweet. You didn't have to bring this back and share it with everybody. And Castellan's very excited to try it. Castellan being a worshiper of Erastil, old Deadeye, the god of trade and family and farming. Shinowis being a worshiper of kind of all the gods. He's a bit of a universalist here. Yeah, as you're kind of pouring coffee and everyone's enjoying it, the front door opens.
Oh!
And in comes Gilia, the other gnome. This one, she is not the biological child of Shinowis, but she is another godborn adoptive child here. Olive brown skin. She's got like white freckles, like a fawn. Mm-hmm. She's got like kind of brownish hair.
Yeah.
It's a bit wild and crazy, her hair. And you see as she enters, there's kind of like a wind that comes at her back and kind of like blows through the whole temple here, the whole shelter
she's cool.
here. Not only that, she looks a lot more weathered and rugged now. Of all of the siblings, she's probably going to be the one that lives the longest. She's a gnome. I think maybe 400 years.
Yeah.
You see as she enters, she's wearing like a strange, like it's kind of big and bulky, but kind of strange beak-like whistle around her neck. Make a quick. What would this be? Let me figure out what this check would be. Make your choice of Arcana or Nature.
Okay. 20 total.
20. This, you are not, even with a 20, you're not. It doesn't look like a creature that you recognize. I'll say that. But you also notice that as well as the usual twigs, leaves, and other natural pieces of, I want to call it decor, but kind of foliage that seem to appear on her being at all times. She, throughout your childhood, she'd always just have like, sometimes it would be like a pine cone would fall out of her hair. You have no clue where it came from.
It's like we're unsure if she like manifested it or if it's just been in there for a while. Like she picked it up outside.
Exactly. Yeah. And on top of that, this time you now see she has clusters of ice and patches of snow spread across her person. Like you see, it's like middle of Erastus, which is like translates in our world as July. Mm-hmm. She has like an unmelting patch of snow on one shoulder, and you see like on like her kind of like leather, like kind of hide skirt, I guess, there are like icicles forming. Not forming, but formed and not melting. She's still kind of, as she enters, she's always had a very kind of strong, like woody, earthy scent about her. But as she enters and the wind kind of blows behind her back, the wind ushers in a kind of scent of like salt water. And as she enters, she has a kind of walking stick, not like that she's like hobbling along, but she just kind of has a stick that she carries. This might be the same stick that you remember her using and picking up sometime when she was a teen. You would not be surprised at all if she has been carrying around this stick with her for years. She's always been kind of the quirkiest, oddest sibling of the bunch. But she sticks out even more so as she arrives, and all the parents and siblings kind of, exclaim and greet her and go over and hug her. Among all of you, she sticks out like crazy now. Standing beside Shinowis, the two gnomes could not look more different. Shinowis with her calm, motherly put-togetherness, and Gilia almost looking like she crawled out of a bush in the middle of the winter. That said, she's not dirty. She just, in the cleanest way possible, she looks like she crawled out of a bush in the middle of winter. So you all greet Gilia, and she comes up to you, she's like, Aribhin, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. You look like something out of a children's story.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So she goes around and like hugs everybody. So like as she goes by and like kind of talks and like sees everyone and kind of says hello to them for the first time again, she like holds on to them. Like she'll take their hand and just kind of like hold on to their hand as she's talking and like just kind of like staring kind of intensively and holding their hand and everything. And even if she didn't take your hand, she's like grabbing onto like your shirt or something. But yeah, so Gilia arrives. You say hello to Gilia.
Yeah.
The family says hello and everyone is together.
Wow. Beautiful.
Breakfast, Castellan hastily assembles a breakfast for everyone. Lots of eggs. Some of the bread that she baked last night, some sausages, some bacon, just a nice home breakfast here. Some more jovial chatting. And
how does this dog like Gilia?
Oh, the dog certainly likes Gilia, and Gilia loves the dog. And she actually seems quite fascinated with it. She's always been very unafraid with animals.
Yeah.
So she goes over to this dog, which may be taller than her. Maybe not quite, but at the very least, they're eye to eye almost. And Gilia just goes over and like takes its head and she kind of looks at it, just like stares into its face. She's like, "Hello," and you see the dog just kind of stare at her. It kind of like freeze up a little bit and just look at her. You see the dog's eyes go kind of wide, and then slowly she leans forward and gives it a kiss on the snout, and then walks away. And then Bone kind of like. And then scurries back over to Kabash, who's like, "Leave me alone." He keeps trying to like hop into Kabash's lap. and it's huge. Gabash like has to like forcefully kind of shove him down, like not like by no means like hitting the dog or beating it, but like having to like shove it off of him constantly. And so breakfast is had. Castellan's like, well, I hate to run out as soon as everyone's here, but I've got to go get ingredients at the market and to make dinner tonight. And Gilead's like, I will go with you.
Why don't we just all go? Okay, let's either all go or plan on going out tonight so that I don't have to be silenced further.
Well, Amira's like, well, I think I'm going to go to the Sun-Touched Temple to speak with the Dawn Mother there, if that's okay with everyone.
Oh, well.
And Theo's like, I actually wouldn't mind to go to a music shop in the upper city.
Okay. So we have to wait until later to continue talking.
She was like, I guess we don't have to. I mean, but Castellan's like, I really should go out.
Okay, fine.
Like torturing
yes. All right, I'm leaving now then.
Okay. Kabash is like, I'm staying here.
Okay.
So, kind of as soon as everyone's together, this is like typical like frustrating foundling thing. Where like, as soon as everyone's together, everyone goes off in different directions.
Damn it!
Aribhin's like pulling his hair out. He's like, "What are you all doing?"
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, I have too much restless energy.
I will say, unless you want to go with any of these, accompany any of these siblings or parents on their errands, you have some time to yourself. Mm-hmm. If you would like to visit the Enterprise's campus, you have time.
Okay, fine.
Aribhin's like, I really don't want to be doing work right now.
Yeah, but you leave me no other choice. Fucking bitch. Okay. Let me.
So you are right now in the Lake District. The Lake District is kind of in the southeast part of the city. It's in the lower city. The city is divided into several districts, but really it's divided into two halves. The upper city and the lower city, divided by a wall. The upper city is it is the more wealthy area typically. But a lot of people visit it for the central market is huge. There's great shops up there. Also in the upper city is Sunwalker Enterprise's kind of campus of administrative buildings. It looks a little bit like a college campus. Very, very upscale looking, I'll say. But as you head out into the city, you see that Crossroad is in the process of setting up for tomorrow's festivities. Mm-hmm. All kinds of booths are being set up, as well as temporary public pools are being built and like are filled with water. You see stages for performances of various kind of seafaring or sailor stories. You see arches and decorations of blue and white at various street corners. And wandering around, you begin to hear word that a public performance of a play called The Storm is happening at Unity Center tomorrow night.
Unity Center,
which is it's like the big outdoor amphitheater in Unity Park.
Unity Park, which is not where we're going to be.
You're going to be on the lake.
Okay.
But you don't know how long you'll be there. Maybe you guys will have time to come back tomorrow night for the performance. But at the very least, you hear about this performance. Unity Park, you do kind of roughly pass it heading up into the upper city. Unity Park is massive. It's a massive green space in the middle of this metropolitan area with a full-on, like, I won't call it a lake, but a very, very large pond. I won't call it a small lake. Really, it's a small lake. It's not as big as the lake to the east of the city.
I see.
But people go fish there. There's also a waterfall that spills down into that lake. It spills out of like the wall dividing the upper city and the lower. But you pass by that on the way up, and eventually you arrive to the Sunwalker Enterprises campus. Do you try to go see Kathos?
Yeah. I walked here and then I'm like, shit, work. So I start like going through my notes and then I realized I don't really have that much to report on. So all right.
Might as well.
Might as well.
So yeah. you head into the building that you know that Kathos Myloneer operates from. It's on like the third floor. There's a lobby. You can ask if he's in.
Yeah, is Kathos in?
I think he's stepped out for just a few minutes, but if you'll just wait, he'll see you on his way back in.
All right. Can I just like wait in his office?
Make a diplomacy check. You gonna rewrite fate with a mythic point?
Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Stupid.
All right, roll it with,
Oh my god, it's gonna be like 1 billion.
with mythic proficiency.
Yeah. All right, this is so dumb. It's 42.
42. Okay. She's like, what exactly do you say to convince her if you don't mind?
Listen, I've been on very important secret work for Sunwalker Enterprises. So, it might be that he doesn't want to see me like waiting out here. I'm kind of like a, PI. So.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you're doing important work, sure. Yeah. Okay.
Really important work.
Okay. Okay. Follow me. And you see, she leads you down. It's like a long hallway. You see, he's got like the corner office with like the great kind of double windows on each side of the walls here. Got a great view of the city, looking north towards the mountains and also east towards the rest of the upper city and the lake in the distance. It's a beautiful office. And she actually like has to unlock the door to let you. She uses her like key ring to let you in. And she's like, okay, well, just let me know if you leave so I can lock back up.
Okay, and you don't have to like let him know I'm here or anything because he was expecting me.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So you suddenly are in Kathos' office.
I'm like, oh, this is so fucking awesome.
It's a big, spacious office. There's like bookshelves lining the walls. You see, it's perhaps not as put together as it was last time, as like picked up and clean and ordered, but still very nice. He's got like a huge, very nice wooden desk. Even like the thing holding his writing quill looks expensive. Like everything in here looks expensive.
I lock the door behind me.
You lock the door. Okay.
I sit at his desk, like in his seat.
Okay.
And I like kind of just kick back and chill out for a minute. And then I start going through his stuff.
You start going through his stuff? What is there anything you're looking for?
No. I don't want to make it like I'm not like rifling through his things, but I'm like, I'm casually just like, what's he got in his drawers, And I don't want it to be too obvious that I have done that thing.
So just generally looking around.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like when you get back to your I'm curious. I want to know what he's gotten in his drawers and
So you rifle through his drawers. I will say you see like a plaque on his desk. You've never actually known what his position is. You've talked to him a bunch of times. And you've even been in this office, but you've never noticed the plaque on his desk. It says Chief Mediator.
The fuck is that? That's not a real job.
You're not sure what it means, and you're not sure if it's intentionally vague or if it's just a vague job title.
No, that's not real.
So you get a rifle through. Make a perception check.
All right, nice. 27.
27.
And I'm rifling through it, not intentionally looking for anything.
But if you happen upon it.
Yeah.
Well, there seems to be lots of notes on just general, like, I will say this. Chief Mediator is indeed a vague job title. You now have it at your disposal to try to figure out what the hell a Chief Mediator does. And as you rifle through these, he seems almost like a fixer. Like someone who solves tedious, maybe somewhat secretive problems for the Sunwalker Enterprise, if that makes sense. You deduce this from the notes he has in there, or you see notes on like theft of Enterprise property down in the Isles. You see notes that apparently across the world on the southern hemisphere, on the continent of the country of Zanmare, people there have heard of Sunwalker Enterprise's developments, such as their arcane guns, because they have made guns, but they're not gunpowder guns. They're like magic guns, essentially. Heard about the Crosslink and are trying to replicate Sunwalker's early processes, which did involve natural resources like coal for trains and powder for guns and that sort of thing. You see notes that this is somewhat worrying to the Enterprise. But most interesting to you is a note that seems intentionally kind of hard to find here. Or rather, it's in very small writing and it's within a notebook. It's not like a loose note. It almost appears to be some sort of like work journal. You see a note from several weeks back. Basically what it says is, when Sunwalker learned of what happened on the airship, he seemed very concerned. Like, it basically says, like, not sure if what they saw on his face was nervousness, but it looked a lot like nervousness. It seems like maybe Kathos himself did not see Sunwalker when he found out, but he knows someone who did, like up the chain. Eventually, you begin to hear rattling, like footsteps coming down the hall.
Yeah, I put it all back.
Make a thievery check.
Uh-oh.
Put it all back.
Yikes. All right, that's really good. 30.
30. Damn, Aribhin.
Yeah.
Eventually, you just go back and sit in his chair.
I like kick my feet up on the table. I'm like, I'm ready for him to come in here.
Okay. You're rattling keychain unlocked. And the door opens and you hear like and he's kind of humming. He doesn't seem to notice you at first, actually. He kind of sets his things down on like a little like kind of like sofa next to the doorway, sets his stuff down. And he looks over, sees you. Actually, I should describe what Kathos looks like. Kathos, Myloneer, is also a Nephilim. A Nephilim being a broad term for essentially someone who has some sort of angelic blood or devil or demon blood in them. He falls on the devilish side. They're also called tieflings. Kathos is a tiefling. He has kind of light gray purple skin. He's got kind of wavy black hair that comes down not quite to his shoulders. He's got horns that kind of curl back into his hair a little bit. He dresses very nicely. He's got kind of like big, he's wearing a robe, and on the robe, the sleeves are very big and billowing. And you've seen him wear, this seems to be like his work robe, but it still is very nice looking. Yeah, I believe he has kind of like slightly metallic-y kind of bronze brass eyes. He looks over to you, and he's, by the way, human ancestry with the Nephilim versatile heritage here. So he's not an elf with this, because in Pathfinder, you can be a Nephilim and be anything. You can be a halfling Nephilim, as we've seen with Arvin's siblings. He looks over, sees you, quirks an eyebrow. You have seen this look before. And he goes, "You have something for me."
Good to see you too.
He just keeps staring at you.
I mean, I've got some things to fill you in on, sure.
Did Tana let you in here?
Is that nice lady at the...
Yes.
Don't be mad at her.
Well, you are a charmer. Out of my seat. And he walks over and motions with his hand. He does have a kind of a flicking kind of light gray purple tail that trails behind him, and he motions you out of his chair kind of with a sassy wave of his hand.
I do not get out of his chair.
He walks okay.
So anyway, Lilith here.
We'll just say make another diplomacy check.
13.
13. He stands here kind of like hovering over, like you're sitting, but he is now kind of like in the kind of physically dominant position, kind of like right next to the desk, like looking down on you a little bit. He goes, "Tell me then."
I get out of the chair and I like move past him, like
on the same side that he's on.
Yeah, like I get like I'm very close to him as I'm passing him, but I'm not like acknowledging it, you know.
Okay.
I just like go on talking and I like, you know, brush past him a little.
All right. So you brush past him. He does take his seat. As you sit down, he goes, "So, it's been a while."
It has. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to?
Yeah.
I think I'd rather hear what you have been up to, if you don't mind.
Oh, wow, thank you. So, I leave here. I go south to Lolithir with a single lead. I follow that lead, get to the Late Light Inn. I would like a stipend for bribing people because it's very handy. I bribe the innkeeps. They tell me a whole bunch of information. They tell me about this guy, Limo Torque. This guy was approached by 12 drow. I'm assuming 4 of them we have killed already. Limo Torque dead.
You see him pull out the notepad that you were inspecting. Does not notice that you even takes out his quill from that like fancy quill holder, as I've mentioned, dips it in some ink, and begins writing this down.
Okay, yeah. Limo Torque. Limo Torque is the guy I'm trying to figure things out about. So I'm going to his house. The guards of the city, they work under the Underlord. They're like all about this guy. They're really pissed off he didn't show up for this meeting. So I'm walking to his house. I run into this lady, nice lady, goblin. She worships Nivi Ramadil. Very interesting. Anyways, we talk for a while. She tells me to go talk to the necromancer. I actually never end up talking to the necromancer, except very briefly. He turns me away very rudely. Anyways,
no.
I am retelling right now. I break into Limo Torque's house. I find out he's dead. I go to talk to the necromancer. I instead tell the guards that I have broken into Limo Torque's house and know that he's dead, so they take me to the Underlord. Basically,
right.
I continue.
You rattle off, and there's nothing you particularly hide from him, right? You basically tell him everything.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all. Yeah, that's all we really need to know, I guess. But he crosses his arms. Let's see. You seem a little agitated about this whole thing.
I mean, I've got very limited information to go off of in the future.
He kind of like holds up a hand. He's like, I understand. But I will say to you, Aribhin, the fact that even that you learned that there were 12 of them, to me is quite striking, because unless I'm wrong, there were only 4 on the airship, correct? So there were 12. There are more of these people.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all of your work. I will be passing this along because I think people will be quite interested to hear that number. Depending on what I hear, I will... Are you going to be in the city for a little while?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, you're still at the shelter?
Yeah.
I will be in contact soon.
Great.
Oh, one second. And he begins to like... There was one drawer that was locked. I'm assuming you wouldn't have tried to.
No. I probably would have prioritized getting to what I could at first.
While you could?
Yeah, while
Right.
I could.
Okay. Well, anyway, he kind of actually, as a note, he reaches into one of those big billowing sleeves and pulls out a key. You've seen him do this before with these sleeves that he seems to procure things from. Unlocks this drawer and pulls out a sack of gold and gives it to you.
Thank you.
But I will be in touch soon. Have a happy Sapphiros.
You too. And then I get up to leave. And like, as I'm halfway through the door, I poke my head back in and I'm like, oh, I do have something for you. You can get it later.
Did you leave?
Yeah.
Okay. Such a rascal. All right. So you dip. Do you head back for the shelter? Do you want to visit any shops?
Yeah, you said it's what time-ish?
We'll say it's around like 1 in the afternoon.
Okay. How much money did I get?
You got, let me see. You got 200 gold pieces.
Ooh, fun. All right. Fuck yeah. Oh, I'm going shopping. I'm going shopping. I'm
Okay.
going shopping.
Like, what is it that you're looking for?
I'll probably stick to spells, weed, and wine.
Spells, weed, wine. Sounds great.
Weed, wine.
Make a Make a society check for me if you don't mind to see if you can recall a place that sells spells here.
31.
31.
I know exactly where I'm going.
You probably do.
I'm going to ask for a business stipend because what the fuck? I don't need to be spending
personal gold.
Money.
You recall this is actually a shop that probably interested you as a younger person, a teen. There is a place called Magical Manuscripts. This is in. Sorry, was I calling it the Wall District the whole time? I meant the West District. I apologize. I am sorry. It's actually, so this is in the Wall District. So you recall this and you're like, hey, I never got to go there.
Yeah.
All right. You head to Magical Manuscripts. It's not too far from the Wall Market, which is not the central market, but it is another prominent marketplace here in the city. It's kind of a hidden, tucked away shack. And it's actually pressed up against the wall that divides the upper and lower city. As you enter, see lots of candlelight, and there's shelves upon shelves and all kinds of books and strange scrolls and all kinds of crazy stuff here. Looking up, almost seeming surprised to see someone, you see a halfling, older, and you see that she has brown skin. Strangely enough, just after talking to Theo about this last night, you see that her skin is patterned with green and yellow scales. Huh. Her eyes are kind of snake-like, slightly serpentine, and she looks up to you. Welcome in.
Thank you.
This is Magical Manuscripts. What are you looking for?
Well, magical manuscripts.
Fantastic.
Spells.
Oh, well, we have all kinds of things. And she, this is Isis. She has kind of spectacles that sit on the edge of her kind of like nubby round nose. So yeah, and there appear to be a selection of magical texts, scrolls, like spell scrolls. Anything in particular, like any spells you're particularly looking for here, I will actually need to get out my treasure table to see how much these cost.
Okay.
By the way, if this stuff is boring to you, just skip it.
True.
Okay. You're in for a treat. So a first rank spell, a scroll is 4 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Now, I will caution you here. I haven't given you a whole ton of like hard loot lately. Mm-hmm. So if you're interested in like actually buying loot, that stuff gets more expensive. But I guess I'll give you a little breakdown of the cost here. So okay. First rank spells, 4 gold. Mm-hmm. Second rank spell, 12 gold. Mm-hmm. Third rank spell, 30 gold.
Ah, yeah.
So keep in mind that loot, like if you were to go buy a magic item, essentially, from Wonders and Oddities, or maybe Albertsons if they have any, mm-hmm. Probably be a good deal more expensive than these scrolls are.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to buy the, I'd have to look at what it's called. Basically where you can make a little house to sleep in.
Oh, cozy cabin?
Yeah, that. I'm going to buy that.
All right. We'll say it's enough times of browsing and stuff where it's probably time for you to head home maybe.
Okay. I'll pop in. I'll grab a really nice bottle of wine.
Right.
And some really nice herbs.
Okay. As you head back, you see Castellan. You hear Castellan in the kitchen chopping veggies, and you hear the sizzling of meats. And
I'm going to have like a little puff of weed on the walk home just to prepare and like relax.
Okay. Make a stealth check to conceal the smell.
19.
19? Okay, no one seems to notice on the way in. There's a little bit of like, you pass Estelar immediately on your way in, and you're like, oh God. And he's like, well, good evening, Aribhin.
Hey.
So you walk in, he does not seem to notice. Okay. Eventually, you chat with everybody some more. Gilia is like back outside again. Birds have flocked to her. You see her, she's got like 2 or 3 birds across her body that you can see, not including any that might be in her hair. You recall a specific instance of literally walking outside to see Gilia and a squirrel leaping out of her hair as you walked up to it, just out of fright. So she's immediately getting back to her Gilia thing. Amira's always been the type to kind of sit with a cup of tea and read. Kabosh is kind of Kabosh. A lot of the time being on his own, but also he's also got a helpful streak in him. So he's probably off helping Costin right now or helping set the table or something. Theo, we'll say that he's in the middle of plucking around and singing some famous tune, some sort of sea shanty here. The table is set. Costin begins to bring out all kinds of stuff from stew to potatoes to roast, sauteed vegetables. You see pies for dessert.
Jeez.
And you also see Estelar has also gotten some wine, and he seems to have splurged a little bit and gotten some fancy wines.
I bring out my wine.
And he looks at that.
I have also gotten a fancy wine.
Okay, he looks at it. He goes, I know that vintage. That one's quite delicious. You're like, how? You're like a little bit. You're like, how? Because he's not rich, but somehow he knows this vintage. As everyone sits down, Estelar's like, well, everyone, I've told Gilia about our plan for tomorrow. Make sure everyone get their swimwear ready. For tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake everyone up bright and early so we can get out on the lake before it gets impossible to navigate, because it does get very busy. So be ready. I will be waking you up, and I will not relent. And Estelar was always the one to wake you guys up in the morning. Very, very...
killing the vibe.
They're all like, you see, like Theo gives you a look, but everyone is excited enough to go tomorrow where it's like the end of the world.
Yeah.
But Shinowis always is the one to start just immediately filling up everyone's plate. She's always the last one to fill up her own plate. So she's going around and needlessly heaping your guys' plates full of food, giving you guys way too much too. Yeah. Way too much. But she sits down, you see she's trying to contain her excitement. You see her kind of like her eyes are all like wide and kind of like skittering around everybody. And she goes, well, now that everyone's here, why don't we go around the table and say what we've been up to? I'll say, I'm gonna roll a quick sense motive for you.
Okay.
You see in all three of your adoptive parents' eyes, they're excited to hear because one, you guys are their kids, but also they are really hoping that there's some sort of God developments with each of you.
Yeah.
Well, naturally, the first one up, Shinowis kind of turns to Amira because she's sitting right next to her. Amira kind of like looks like she's starting to eat, and she looks up and she goes, "Oh," and she realizes that she should speak. Well, pretty much since the last time any of you saw me, I've been living at the edge of the gloom. At least that's what they're calling it. I guess I'll go back to the beginning. Back when I first left the city, I felt like the Dawnflower was beckoning me south. I didn't know why or where. Eventually, I reached a place where light seemed to vanish, like a sheet had been pulled between the sun and the earth. At the edge of this place, there was a big encampment of soldiers, some from Halasar, some from Kivad, and others from the Flamehold. They were surprised to see someone like me arriving, I guess, but I didn't stop. I just kept walking south, right into the shade. I wasn't really thinking about it. I just thought that I should, I guess. They called out for me to stop, but I didn't, and strangely, as I stepped in, the area around me seemed to brighten up. I remember the look on those soldiers' faces, like they couldn't believe what they were seeing. They looked like little caricatures or something. Anyhow, it was then that I learned that I was the only person to ever walk into that darkness and live, or at the very least not be harmed by it. Before I knew it, even more people were arriving, using me as a means to explore the gloom and try to figure out what's going on with it. All kinds of people came. soldiers, wizards, druids. Some people that seemed so powerful I couldn't believe that I was helping them. But despite all this, they haven't learned much of anything. In fact, I think they're more confused now than they were back when I first arrived. They thought it would be a blight or at least something that a handful of priests and druids could solve, but now they're thinking it's something more complex, maybe something more sinister. I don't really know. They don't keep me involved in the more scientific discussions, I suppose. And I was barely able to take a break. Day in, day out, I'm in that place almost. It's so hot down there. And the things I've seen. Well, I'm glad to be back home, at least for a little while. And the parents kind of go a little quiet at this. It's a bit more, I don't know, maybe dark than they were expecting, or not as fun, not as like, you know, maybe Shinos is expecting like, oh yeah, an angel of Sarenrae came and visited me and said I'm so awesome and I destroyed all of evil. You know what I mean?
All of evil,
but
yeah.
instead it's a bit more than that. Estelar kind of breaks the silence. He's like, well, unfortunately, being a godborn child means that you've likely gotten your work cut out for you. Just trust that Sarenrae is watching out for you. And Amira kind of like, despite it being a little corny, and Amira kind of like, she knows he means well and smiles and nods back at him. And again, it kind of goes quiet for a little bit because she seems like, one, she seems very glad to be home. Mm-hmm. Largely in the extent that she's glad to be gone from there. It seems hard on her.
Yeah. What brought you home?
I just couldn't take much more, to be honest with you. I need it's been years, and the only breaks I've had have been for a couple of days at most. I've visited the Flamehold a couple times simply because it's the nearest city, and even that I had to fight for a bit to leave. Not that the people that down there are cruel to me or mean, but I'm their only means of trying to stop this thing, and it is growing. Kabosh comes in and kind of seems to distract a little bit from what she's saying by himself starting. He goes, I have been slaying fell creatures and trying to get this dog to leave me alone. I've made a fair amount of coin and gathered interesting loot as well. In fact, he reaches to his belt. This is for you, parents. And he clunks down a massive coin purse on the table.
Like how much do I guess that is?
Hundreds.
Fuck. Like how many hundreds? Like more than 300?
More than 300 probably.
Fuck.
And yeah, it thuds down and it's actually overflowing. And not only gold is in there, but platinum.
God damn it.
And Shinawis goes, no, Kabosh, you take that back. No. And he goes, no, mother, I will not. It's yours, and that's final. And you see Estelar, you hear Estelar just start laughing at this because like he knows that there's no convincing Kabosh to take that back. And Castellan says, well, you can't just leave it at that. How are the others in your slaying group? What's the group's name again? And Estelar goes, the Grimies. And
that rocks.
Kabosh kind of pauses. He goes, they are prone to excess and disregard for the law. I always wished they would transfer me elsewhere, but no matter how many requests I put in, the Brotherhood ignored me.
They sound great.
Estelar goes, why haven't you quit then? And Kabosh kind of shrugs, and in his kind of typical blunt, short fashion, he just goes, it was my calling. Quickly make a society check for me.
25.
Well, you recall one that you recall the Brotherhood of Beasts. It's like it's been so long since you've seen him and really like thought about him that intensively. It's like, the Brotherhood of Beasts is what he works for, and the Brotherhood of Beasts is a monster slaying group that themselves have a kind of strange reputation as being odd, strange people. Typically, sign up to be in the Brotherhood of Beasts. It's kind of seen as one of the only ways that a kind of a person of a scarier, kind of more typically thought of as evil ancestry can operate in normal Ibarian society and do a normal kind of job and get paid well. But simply, it was his calling, and that's why he stayed. Though, yeah, doesn't seem to love it. Next up is Theo. Theo goes, I mean, I've been doing what you'd all expect. I've been traveling with Silver String, learning a lot, playing music and singing and writing. I really think I've come a long way. Silver String seems to think so too. In fact, he's thinking that I might graduate from his tutelage soon. Maybe as soon as by the end of the year. And they're all like, the parents all exclaim at how good of news this is. Shinowis goes over and like pinches his cheek. She's like, you're so talented. And yeah, Shinowis seems partially exclaiming with delight because the first two siblings, what they had to say was so like, meh. That Theo having such good news is like, brightens her up like crazy. Cool. Next is Gilia. Hers is so complex and long that I'm not even going to narrate it all as her. She launches into a long, insane tale that dates all the way back to when she first left Crossroad and returned to her tribe in the woods east of Wildwell. She tells of an adventure involving a creature she refers to as a blighted nursery crawler, which caused chaos in the forest and in the east part of Wildwell. That was like the first time I really accessed my gates. And she continues immediately into another complex adventure that she went on, which involved her traveling north all the way to the city of Gorath. There, she talks about how she encountered a lost Feidan, or a water genie, named Suosan, and helped settle a dispute between him and Gorath's master, Lord Darisar. She says she also met a Quatoid named Gwel. She was like a big squid person, Gilia says. And she goes, and Gwel's the one that gave me this whistle. And whenever I blow it, she'll come and help me. And she goes, it actually was pretty good timing, you reaching out to me, she says to Shinowis, because I don't know. I'm feeling like there's something I should do here in the city.
Why?
It's kind of hard to explain. It's like when I went to Gorath, like I didn't go there for any particular reason. I just felt like in my body, like in my chest, like in my gates, like it was like pulling me that way. It's like I feel like it's like someone on a rope, like pulling me like that.
Gates?
Oh, yeah. Should I show everyone?
Yeah.
And so she kind of gives up, and Shinowis is like, it's not going to damage anything, right? And she's like, I'll step further back. And she steps further back. And you watch her as she channels elements. And you watch as swirling around her are twigs, leaves, pieces of the earth, pieces of like the woods rather, as well as dirt and rock of the earth, as well as snow and ice and water begin swirling around her in like I believe a 15-foot radius emanating from her. As swirling around her are elements, like aspects of elemental planes. Make a quick nature check.
19.
You have heard lightly of tales of folk connected to elemental planes, but that's as far as you really know here with that roll. And she's like, you see her eyes begin to glow as this happens and begin to shift colors, with like green and brown and white and blue. And she's like having to like almost yell over the noise of the elements. And again, all those things I just mentioned flying around her, and it is making a mess, and it is hitting chairs. And she was like, oh. She did not step farther back. She would have to like go outside in order for this to not really damage anything. She's like, so I can do this now. She's like, I'm accessing the planes of wood and earth and water. I got the water one up in Gorath. And
what the fuck?
She's like, and I can like hit people with it too. She's just like continuing to like whirl this around her, and everyone at the table just like has stopped eating and is just watching like with wide eyes and like jaws hanging open as this is happening, just like oh my god, disbelieving that this is happening.
Oh man.
And Costell's like, well, now we know where all those twigs and pine cones came from.
Aribhin is definitely, cackling.
Cackling, yeah. She's like, you could come in here if you want. It's not going to hurt you.
I'll do it.
Okay, you immediately run over. And it does feel like, you're not stepping into another plane, obviously, but it feels like the air itself is composed and is smells and feels of elsewhere. You're like not inhaling water by any means, but like it feels as though water is passing by your skin. And actually probably some streams of water probably are passing over your skin and getting you or in your clothes and getting you wet. It feels like you're stepping into something that is not correct here on this plane of existence. Mm-hmm. And Theo comes in with you, as does Amir. Pretty much everyone except Estelar is not going to. But Shinawis kind of like dips her toe in. Castellan comes in for sure. But Kabash stays at the table, and Amir is kind of with Shinawis, kind of dipping her toe in a little bit. You, Theo, and Castellan all go in, kind of feel this. Theo like plucks a cluster of ice out of the air and kind of smells it and like puts it. And he like starts to lick the ice. He goes, it tastes like ice. She's like, okay, I'll stop now. And stops and like it all kind of like falls. Some of it falls to the floor and some of it seems to just disappear.
Wow. Very cool. Could I get, okay, so Amira was saying that her presence there allows people to like study it more or something?
So essentially what Amira was saying was that in the gloom, as she's calling it, she can enter it. Actually, to be honest with you, it was probably a little vague. You can follow up there for sure if you want, as you guys go back and sit back down. Oh, but as you sit down, Shinnos is like, wait. Aribhin, you have to tell everyone. You're not off the hook, mister.
Why would I be off the hook? You're acting like I haven't done anything. I mean, okay, so yeah. Last few months, I've been working for Sunwalker Enterprises.
You do see some heads turn at that.
So yeah, I've been investigating something for them. I'm basically like a private investigator or whatever. I'm not really like supposed to talk about the details, but I will if you like press me a little harder. But yeah, so basically I've been like working for them since I got back to Crossroad a few months ago, and then I've been traveling south on an assignment for them, slowly, gathering more information about it. I've come to a bit of I'm following breadcrumbs at this point, but I should be getting more information soon. So probably heading back down south soon, unless they tell me to do something else. Yeah. That's been me.
He was like, attaboy. And he like slaps you on the back. And so they all find this very interesting. There's lots of kind of like, ooh, Sunwalker Enterprise kind of thing. Amira goes, what about the academy? Did you graduate?
Yeah, sort of. I got what I needed out of it, so.
Estelar kind of leans forward. He goes, Aribhin dropped out. And they all kind of turn to each other. And Kabash is like, how long did you have left?
I was there long enough to where I got what I needed out of it. I'm already so much further along than like just a regular graduate would be. So like it doesn't really matter how much I had left, and like I had basically all the classes I had already like, so it was like advanced like metaphysics and shit, and it's like I get it already. It's like advanced is basically just learning how to write about it, and like I don't really need that for what I'm trying to do. And then other stuff is just like intro to alchemy that I'm not like really interested in, and I've been putting off for years. And
Gilia kind of like steps in. She goes, I mean, he's working for Sunwalker Enterprise. I mean, he's got to be doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm working for Sunwalker Enterprises, and yeah, I dropped out. Like,
Theo starts laughing. Theo starts laughing that you dropped out. And he's like, of course you did. Of course you dropped out. That's so you.
What is that supposed to mean?
He's like, no, like in a good way.
Like in a good way, right? That checks out.
You're not quite sure what he means by that, yeah. But anyway, the family resumes their dinner. Yeah. So if there's anything else that you'd like to inquire with your siblings, feel free at dinner time.
So Amira, could you elaborate on what you were saying?
What exactly?
Your presence in the gloom enables others to study it? Is that what you were saying?
Yes. Yeah. So when I step in, I suppose maybe it's the halo. I sort of shed an aura. It's, I don't know, maybe 20 feet around me. They measure these things down there. And anyone within that isn't affected by the darkness.
Wow.
So usually I just go where people tell me to go, and they walk around me. And they'll say, hey, Amira, we want to go look at that thing. And I'll wander over and they'll look at that thing. And they'll say, okay, we're done for the day. And then I'll lead them back out of the gloom. And then I'll sleep, and then I'll wake up, and then I do it again.
Does she seem like happy about this?
Actually, I roll these things now.
Oh.
So your perception is a 9.
Yeah.
You're not sure. You're not totally certain. She seems tired, maybe tired of it a little bit, but like you're not sure if she's like fine with doing it, but she just needed a break. You're not totally certain. It would require some asking here.
Is this do you know if it's this effect is divine, or is it like, do they know if like a similar spell or cantrip could do something similar?
As far as I know, I'm really mostly I'm mostly the only resource that they have to use. There are some others that with powerful enough magic can do it, but I can do it with no end. Really, if there have been times where we slept out there and made camp, and others, however, the ones that can cast that kind of magic and that kind of magical protection, it runs out.
I see. Huh. Are you having much fun? Doesn't seem like you are, I guess.
I have faith that it's for a reason.
Right.
But it's interesting. I mean, one thing I do like about it is the people I meet are interesting. I've met all kinds of interesting people from all around the world. I mean, I've always thought that we were some of the weirdest people I knew. I mean, they look at me weird down there sometimes when the others aren't around. But then there are some others that show up and they make me look normal. There's one named Hainan Miyota. He's a gnome and says he's a sylph. You actually might like him, Gilia. He's a little bit of an odd person, and you can't quite tell when he's lying and when he's telling the truth, but supposedly one of his parents was from the elemental plane of air. He's got like a big shock of white hair on top of his head. He always wears white, really quite unnecessarily flashy. But there's been people from the first city, actually, and Estelar's like, oh, very interesting. Who is it? She's like, I believe he was called the First Blade. Estelar's like, you saw the First Blade? And Amir's like, yes, I think he's a pretty big deal, right? And Estelar's like, yes, he is the most powerful Fey warrior on the planet, I think. One of, at the very least. Works for the First Council. And go ahead, I'll say make a society check. It's not a super high DC.
Okay. Yep. Society? Right. 18.
18. The First Council is the ruling body of the First City. Mm-hmm. They are known for strong connection to the First World, the other plane of existence, also sometimes called the Feywild. But the First Council is also known for its like the First Council has connections to the First World in terms of like they know people and they visit it.
Yeah. Okay.
And the First Blade is like, again, the most powerful Fey warrior on the planet, as Estelar just said. Mm-hmm. And also known for their pure-bloodedness over there.
I see.
So you would imagine that the First Blade probably has full-colored eyes.
Yeah, right.
But Amir's just like, I mean, I feel like maybe I'm doing something to help, but it just feels like it just keeps going and there's never any progress, and I feel like I've just done all I can, and at this point it's just hard to want to wake up in the morning.
That's rough. Damn.
As soon as she says it, she kind of realizes that she said it and maybe didn't want to say that because she didn't want to make her parents feel bad and everyone at the table, but especially the parents, are like, oh. At this point, dinner's sort of starting to wrap up, and Theo's like, so everybody, tried to like lighten the mood. So why don't all of us go to Greasy Gus's for a few drinks?
Yeah.
And so I was like, Greasy Gus's? That place is a
Greasy?
dive.
Yeah.
Gillia's like, okay. Amira, she's like, okay, I'll go. And he said that maybe she's going like you're not sure in what capacity she's going. If she's going to hang out with everybody, or if she's going because you feel like she might need a drink.
Yeah,
a little bit. Theo starts to like help pick up the table and take stuff into the kitchen and help start to clean, so Costelin doesn't have to do all that stuff as well.
We all do it. We are all members of this household. We help clean up.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that Theo starts.
Oh, okay.
But as he does, Kabosh is like, before everyone leaves, I do have to leave the morning after tomorrow. Oh. Shinos is like, what? But everyone just got here. And Kabosh is like, I'm sorry, I have to. And Gilly is like, oh. Estelar is very clearly, visibly disappointed. Bone comes up and licks Kabosh's arm.
Well, what's up? What do you got going on? And also, what's up with the dog? We never talked about the dog.
He looks to Bone. He's like, this creature arrived at camp one morning. I don't know where he came from. Seemingly from nowhere. And has not left me alone since. I have tried to leave him behind. I have tried to dismiss him. But he will not have it.
Can I detect magic? I'll ignore everything but the dog.
Let's see here. It says you can choose to ignore magic you're fully aware of, such as magic items and ongoing spells of you and your allies. Like, you don't know what magic items your friends have.
All right.
Or your siblings, rather.
Can I, like, take this dog outside?
Kabosh is like, you can try.
Okay, will you come with me then?
Make a diplomacy check for me.
He's my brother, come on. 20 total?
Yeah, okay. And he gets up. He's like, Bone, come on. And
I'm trying to see if this is a magic dog, okay?
he goes outside.
Do I know if Kabosh is magical? Probably not.
You know what? I will say that you and your siblings, maybe there's a bit of magic to your blood or whatever, divine magic. Okay. But I'm going to say that it doesn't like trigger, like detect magic.
Okay. And like as I go to start casting, I'm like, I know it's absurd to like be testing this on some random dog, but it's like our existences are absurd, so it's not really that absurd. So, and then I cast it.
You do detect magic.
This is a magic dog.
Kabosh is like, why am I not surprised?
Yeah, right. All right, let me do something else. Very interesting, Kabosh. Of course you have a magic dog following you. All right, read aura. Also, quick identify, but how exactly does that work again?
I don't think quick identify works on a creature.
Identify magic.
Sure.
Properties of an item, ongoing effect, or location.
Yeah.
So not an... Okay. Good to know. I'll just cast Read Aura then.
Okay. Well, it's mostly the same thing.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, maybe I don't do that because I would know it doesn't work.
Well, either way, this seems to be this dog has some sort of magic aspect to it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I tell him that. I'm like, I mean, I can't really... I'd have to think about what else I can do here, but I'm at my limits for tonight.
Estelar, we'll say that Estelar and some of the others came and just like watched this. Estelar's like, it's possible that the inheritor saw that you were perhaps a bit grumpy with with the Grimies and sent you a hound. And Kabosh is like, well, I would have preferred it if she didn't. He is kind of cute though. And he reaches down and pats it on the head, and it's like tongues lolling out.
Oh, what a sweetie pie. Okay, so I'll puzzle on that later. Yeah, I guess I'm open to going and getting drinks with everyone if they're down.
So you head up for drinks with all the siblings. We'll say that Castellan comes along as well. Shinowis is like, I'll leave the drinking to you all. But Castellan comes for a drink. She's a typical hardy dwarf lady. Kabosh does not come out.
What? I had questions to ask everyone.
You can try to convince him
on the boat tomorrow.
I mean, if you want to convince him, but he's not actively going. You know what I mean?
Kabosh.
He looks to you at this point. He's like already in his he shed his day clothes and his like
little nighty clothes now.
Yeah, he's just like in like a breezy kind of t-shirt and pants now.
You don't have to drink, but like you can come hang out with us. Come on.
Make a diplomacy check.
12.
He's like he like looks to you, he kind of smiles. He has like a very warm smile.
Aww.
Like when he's a bit of a curmudgeon for being in his mid-20s, but when he does smile, it's like ooh, he smiled kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like whenever you would make Aribhin smile as a kid, it was a feat and you loved it.
Yeah.
Especially because you guys would butt heads so much. He's like, I appreciate it, but really I would be happier if I stayed here.
I punch him and then I run out.
Okay.
Just like you need like a brotherly punch on the arm, not like in the face or anything.
His arm is massive. His bicep is like huge.
That's hilarious.
You and Theo lead the way with your sisters and one of your moms in tow as you go to Greasy Gus's, the Gus tonight. By the way, to explain this, because because I just threw it out there earlier. The Greasy Gus's, the bartenders there, are all called Gus. So you know when you're going in that the person behind the bar, you can just call Gus. So tonight the Gus is a Dromar fellow, pretty big, kind of got like a big like beer gut on him. Serves up some beers or whatever your drink of choice is. Castellan certainly gets an ale. But you have a night out at Greasy Gus's with most of your family. It's a strange group here in the middle of Greasy Gus's. Y'all get some looks, but you all are having a good time. And eventually make your way back to the shelter. And it feels like you just hit the bed when you are shaken ruthlessly awake by Estelar, who says, get up, it's time to go. Got a boat to get to, come on. No, don't grumble. Come on. So as you gather groggily with your siblings and parents outside the house, you can see that the festivities have already begun. Even this early, and it's still kind of dark outside, you could see the festivities have begun. The holiday is known for its kind of all-day drinking, and it seems like here in Crossroad, people have already started. Some of them. And as you head off towards the rental boat for the day, we'll pick up there next time.
Yippee!